This topic is very important for the lab technicians who are going to work in the laboratory, because in their everyday life they have to prepare different types of solutions with a different concentration. First, we will see what are the different types of solutions we can prepare inside the laboratory. The first one is saturated solution, and second one is percent solution, and third is molar solution, and the fourth one is molal solution, fifth is normal solution, and last is known standard solution. So these are the different types of solutions a technician should know how to prepare inside the laboratory. So in this video, first I will demonstrate how to prepare this saturated solution. What is this saturated solution and how to prepare this saturated solution, I will explain you in this video. First, let's see what is saturated solution. To know about saturated solution or to prepare all these different types of solutions, first one basic thing we all should know, that is what is a solvent and what is a solute. When we are preparing the solution, first we should know what is a solvent and what is a solute. Always remember, solute means it will be in the form of dry chemical or in solid form. Solid means crystal form or powder form. Out of this, you also have to remember one more important thing, that is the weight of solute. The weight or quantity of the solute is always less. We will take only small quantity when compared with solvent. Okay, it will be always less in quantity when compared with the quantity of the solvent. Now let's see. Solvent is a liquid. Solvent is a liquid in which this solute will get dissolved. The solute will get dissolved inside a liquid. That liquid is called solvent. And here the solute, always we will take a very less quantity of the solute and high quantity of the solvent, and we will mix them. The combination of solute plus solvent is called solution. Solution will contain solvent plus solute. When we mix both of these, then that is called solution. How much amount of solute we have to take, how much amount of solvent we have to take, and how to calculate that values, that we are going to learn in this preparation of solutions. And today our topic is saturated solution. So first let's see what is a saturated solution. In the saturated solution, for example, I will teach you this topic with the help of a question. Now in front of me I have a question just 10 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate. 10 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate preparation. Now this is the question. 10 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate we have to prepare inside the laboratory. So what to do? First we have to take 10 ml of distilled water and little quantity of ammonium sulfate. This is the thing I need first. 10 ml of distilled water is required because the quantity is 10 ml. You can take more also. You can take 20 ml or 15 ml, or you can also take 12 ml. Finally, we should have at the end of the test, or at the end of the practical, or at the end of your procedure, you should have a 10 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate solution. At the end of your procedure, you should have 10 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate solution. So how to prepare this saturated solution? Let's see. To do this, to prepare this, first I will take a beaker. What apparatus is required? Apparatus required to prepare the saturated solutions. I need a beaker and distilled water, ammonium sulfate is required, 10 ml. You can take a measuring cylinder, or if measuring cylinder is not available, then you go for volumetric flask. Stirrer, dropper. These are the things, or these are the apparatus we require to prepare saturated solution. So today we are going to prepare saturated solution. ml ammonium sulfate. For that, apparatus is required: beaker, distilled water, ammonium sulfate, 10 ml measuring cylinder. If measuring cylinder is not available, then select a volumetric flask of 10 ml. Then take a stirrer and dropper. Now I will show you how to prepare this 10 ml of ammonium sulfate solution. See, I have taken a beaker of 50 ml. There is a beaker with me now. I will remove this. I'll keep this one aside. Now I have a beaker here, and I have a volumetric flask. See, here marking is present. Here marking is present. So after preparing the solution, I will measure that solution here in this flask and I will take 10 ml. Okay. And I have ammonium sulfate solution. This is ammonium sulfate purified. And to collect the solution, I had a spatula. Spatula is with me. And to mix the solution, I had distilled water. Distilled water is also with me. And the last, the stirrer, it is a glass rod to mix the solution inside the water, and this is the dropper. Okay, this is the apparatus I am having now. So first what I have to do, let's see the procedure. What is the procedure? What is the procedure? First, take a little amount of water. I go with the normal pen. I am repeating the point to make it clear for you. Take a little amount of distilled water. I am writing it as DW. Please remember, take a little amount of distilled water. So this is the distilled water, and where you have to take distilled water? In a beaker. So now this is the distilled water and this is the beaker which is present with me. Now I am taking little amount of distilled water. Yes, I have taken little amount of distilled water. Now the second point is add little amount of ammonium sulfate. So now next step is I have to add little amount of ammonium sulfate. See, this is the ammonium sulfate. Here this is the solute, this is the crystal form, okay, and this is liquid form, this is solvent, and this is the solute. So now I am taking little amount, very little amount of ammonium sulfate, and I am adding in this one. I have added that ammonium sulfate crystals inside the distilled water. Now I have to mix it with the help of glass rod. I am mixing. See, after mixing with the stirrer, after some time there is no crystal present inside the distilled water. Okay, the ammonium sulfate, the little quantity of ammonium sulfate which I have added inside the distilled water is dissolved. So now what I should do is, the next step is take little more amount of ammonium sulfate. Now I have added little more quantity. See, you can see little more amount of ammonium sulfate I have taken and I have added in the distilled water. Again start mixing. the ammonium sulfate which I have added is completely dissolved. There is no crystal present inside the beaker with the distilled water. So now again I am going to take ammonium sulfate. This time I am taking little more amount and I am dropping it. See, again third time also I have taken the ammonium sulfate and I have mixed that one with the distilled water, and again again the ammonium sulfate is dissolved. See, now you can see at the bottom of the glass you can find some ammonium crystals which are not getting dissolved even after mixing. You can see this area it is having the crystals. Little amount of crystals are present at the bottom. Okay, now it means this solution is completely saturated with the ammonium sulfate. Even if I add one more crystal, even a small amount of crystal, if one more crystal if I add into this one, it will not get dissolved and it will remain same. Let's check. So I'm adding very little amount when compared with the previously I have added. Now see, now you can see crystals are remained inside this one. Now you can call this solution as a saturated ammonium sulfate solution. Now you will require 10 ml of ammonium sulfate solution. So for that, see, this is the volumetric flask of 10 ml. Here it is written 10 ml, and this is dry. Now you have to transfer the solution into this one. For this is very small, and I don't want to use the funnel also, so I am using the dropper. This dropper is having graduation. This is the graduated dropper. With this dropper you can take a 3 ml. You can see the marking 1 ml, 2 ml and 3 ml. So now I don't need the help of this marking which is present on the pipette. I will directly take the solution into this one. See, now you can see there is a very small difference between the level of water and this marking which is present on the tube. Always when you are preparing the solutions with a perfect quantity, always make sure that the water level should touch the line of this volumetric flask. So I think now I can add a little more amount of water, little more amount of this saturated ammonium sulfate solution, and when it touches this one, when it touches this line, then I can say that this volumetric flask is having 10 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate solution. I think it will take 1 or 2-3 drops more. I will add that one. Yes. Now this volumetric flask is containing 10 ml of 10 ml of ammonium sulfate solution. So sorry, I have forgotten to write this. So add a little amount of ammonium sulfate, and what is the next step? Mix with mix with the glass rod, or you can call it as stirrer. Mix with the glass rod or stirrer. Then again check the solution. If ammonium sulfate crystals are completely dissolved, then add little more ammonium sulfate. Instead of writing ammonium sulfate, I will write its chemical formula NH4SO4. NH4. I think it is not clear here. NH4 to SO4. This is the chemical formula of ammonium sulfate. So first what we have taken, take a little amount of distilled water in a beaker, and then add a little amount of ammonium sulfate, mix with the glass rod, and check the solution. If the ammonium sulfate crystals are completely dissolved, then add a little more ammonium sulfate and mix again. And this is the step 1, step 2 and step 3. This is the step 4, and mix again. And here we have to repeat steps 3 and 4. Repeat the steps 3 and 4. That means this step and this step. Mix with the glass rod and again check the solution. And up to what time you have to repeat this step? Until some crystals of ammonium sulfate are left undissolved. Like I have shown you previously, till that time you have to dissolve the ammonium sulfate inside the distilled water. After that, once you have observed that ammonium sulfate crystals are not getting dissolved inside the distilled water, then stop mixing and measure it in the volumetric flask. Once you observe the crystals, stop mixing and measure the solution in a flask of 10 ml. It is called a volumetric flask. And finally 10 ml of saturated ammonium sulfate is prepared.